Hi, guys. This is Jordan from the future, from after this podcast is over. I'm just hopping in here to tell you that the audio, unfortunately, in this episode is not necessarily too par from what we've done before. We know that, we realized the issue, we have fixed it, but we recorded about 2 hours worth of content and we thought, why not? Let's just send it out, see how it does as well. But just know that the audio will be crisper from here out. We figured out the problem. There is going to be a little bit of a staccato noise in your ear. But if you don't even hear it, that's great. If you get through this episode and you say it doesn't really bother you, we'd love to know. Just give us a little bit of grace. This is our first time dealing with a lot of this equipment, and I really hope that you guys enjoy what we do put out on this episode. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. Have a great day. Bye.
Hello and welcome back.
What is up, you beautiful degenerates?
Oh, so this is like a thing. You're doing a thing.
Oh, I'm trying out a couple of different things, but I am super excited. I feel like I'm refreshed and excited for these stories that I'm gonna bring to you.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, but I'd like to hear an update from Kelvin. How's Kelvin doing this week?
Not too bad. Can't complain whatsoever. Got a big UFC fight coming up today. Brazil ended up losing, so that's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
We are down to the final 8 selection. Bruno, let's see Erling Haaland do something spectacular.
Haaland.
Row. Have you seen the row chant?
I don't know that chant, no.
It's just literally just how the whole thing is kind of like just Viking because of just their whole little situation of just how the team's just in Norway and stuff. What they all do is they all sit like they're on one of those boats that just have rows on them.
Oh.
So like early Vikings, and they would just row. All the players just sit. Someone beats on the drum, and every time someone hits the drum, they just hit row, and the whole crowd just gets in on the chant. It's actually really cool.
That's super cool. I've been watching.
Honestly, my favorite sports chant right now.
Oh, cool. I've been watching a lot of Holland highlights and stuff, and they've been blowing my mind. He seems so cool and athletic.
He is a physical specimen.
Yeah, no, that's really exciting. Anything else going on with you?
Nothing crazy, really.
Okay. Well, I've been having a really good week, honestly. Just been going through lots of classes, lots of work to be had, but really, I don't have anything but good news. I mean, I think the best update is that my nephew was born last week.
Congratulations, the whole family.
And so I have my first baby nephew. He's literally the most adorable thing I've ever seen in my entire life. So I'm just over the moon right now. I hope you guys at home are having a good week. I hope that you're ready to get into some spicy stories, though. Because we have a couple of really good ones for you. You ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this first Reddit story is coming to you from Am I Overreacting? We haven't done this one before, so I'm really excited to get into this one. So, am I overreacting? Someone left their laundry in the dryer and I waited 30 minutes before moving it, received a note in return. And this poster actually did send a picture of the note in question. The note goes on to read, "Do not touch other people's clothes, especially not after they're freshly washed, regardless of how long they've been in there. ... Loads of laundry consist of undergarments, and I'm sure you wouldn't want strangers messing with yours. No, thank you." And then the person's name is blocked out for privacy. But they go on to say, "I went down to put my laundry in the washer and saw someone had used both dryers. There's only 2. I saw it had only 30 minutes left on it, so I was like, okay, cool. My wash will take 36 minutes. They should be done." My washer was done, and I went to get the clothes, and theirs was still in the dryer. I waited for 30 minutes before moving one of the dryers into a laundry basket that was in the room. The table had dust all over it, so I didn't put it directly on the table. I came down after my dryer was done to find this note. I emailed the property manager as I'm not going to go back and forth with notes with someone who clearly doesn't understand shared laundry room etiquette. I just want to make sure that I was in the right here, or should I have not moved their laundry? Am I overreacting?
I mean, no. 100% not really. I mean, I've never shared like a laundry space with other people. Usually, if I'm wherever I'm living, whether it's the house or an apartment or anything like that, there's usually, luckily enough, there's like a laundry like system. There's a washer and a dryer in there. But honestly, he waited 30 minutes for you to come and get your laundry. This isn't just like a communal laundry. You just leave your stuff, walk away, and
Yeah.
don't come back for a while. Other people in the community need to use the washer and dryer, and they used both of them. So, like, this isn't one of those situations where it's like, oh, maybe just give him the benefit of the doubt. Like, no, this person was gone for more than 30 minutes, hogged up both the dryers. There's nothing, he clogged up the whole system. Fuck that guy. Leaving a note over just being like you were being called out for, and you're getting upset that you're being called out for it.
Yeah, but like, do you think leaving a note specifically is weird?
Weird, but it's, I think, more like passive aggressive. Like, they just noticed that their stuff was moved and they got kind of frustrated about it. I'm like, well, you got frustrated over it was moved rather than being frustrated at the fact that you weren't being attentive. I'm like, that's really kind of what gets me. I'm like, you're not being attentive to your stuff, but the moment somebody does something to kind of disrupt your flow, then you get upset about it.
Yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like this person is only thinking about like their mindset. Like maybe they came down 5 minutes after the person moved their stuff and they're like, what the heck? Like, I was just here. Why are you touching my... I can kind of understand like going down and you have like maybe undergarments, stuff in there that you don't want to be touched by somebody, and then somebody that you don't know at all is just like going in, touching your stuff, moving it over. But then you have to step back and be like, okay, well, I wasn't here immediately. I have to be okay with somebody else needing to use the facilities because it's a shared facility room. So I think that leaving a note is a little bit excessive.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be okay if, like, let's say 10 or 15 minutes had passed. Maybe you lost track of time. Maybe you live not super close to wherever you were going, but 30 minutes is a little excessive. Like, 30 minutes, like with what they were saying for wash was just 36 minutes. I'm like, we're talking about a whole cycle had already passed and you still hadn't collected your clothes.
It makes you kind of look lazy because you're just not paying attention to what's running through on the cycles when it's a shared. Like, I think the most important thing is that this is a shared facility and it's not your home. Like,
Yes.
I understand being at home or having roommates and things get like
Backtrack, you
get
don't remember your
busy.
clothes or something happens.
Yeah, there's like some leeway that you can give people. I think if it's like you're living with them, you know them, they're friends. But if it's just like you don't even know the people that are using the laundry room and they're over 30 minutes late and like you move their stuff over. And mind you, OP didn't leave a note being like, hey, like you need to make sure that you're here.
Yeah, because it could have worked the other way around. It
Yeah.
could have been the opposite way, and the OP could have left a note and just like, hey, you weren't here, blah, 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 blah. But it wasn't. It was, like I said, I think it's just somebody that got mad that they were being called out.
Yeah.
People have a tendency to get real mad after being called out
And it
under
was like
BS.
the softest call out of all time. It was just like, I'm just going to move your things, not put it on the dusty table. It's just like, I have
Being considerate.
places to be. Like, I think it's just like consideration is really important here because it's like, why would you take the time to leave like a really petty note, honestly, when it's like, it's only been 30 minutes. You were late, but he just moved your things out of the way. If they were still wet, now that's a different story. Like this situation actually reminds me of something that happened in college when I was sharing, like, you know, when you have student housing and you have like 4 other roommates in a tiny little apartment. I actually had a situation. It wasn't me. I wasn't the person being bad with the laundry, which like I'm not great with laundry either. So like I can kind of understand being late or forgetful sometimes. But like my friends were kind of beefing a little bit. So there's a little bit more backstory
There's
to it
tension
there.
in the roommate situation.
A little bit of tension between 2 of the girls. Nothing terrible, but one of the girls, she was a little bit, busy doing other things.
A little lackadaisical.
A little lackadaisical, a little lazy. And so she did leave her laundry in the one. I think it was like over like 12 hours.
Ooh.
And there's 4 girls in this apartment, and like everybody's got a life. Like you have to move your stuff. But my roommate
Just one set of laundry equipment?
No, so she needed to do this is the bad part. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I would have done that. She was like wanting to make a stand. And so instead of moving this girl's laundry over to the dryer or like on top of the laundry, whatever, she took this girl's wet laundry out of the washer and put it onto her bed, sopping wet.
Okay.
Sopping wet. And then like just did her own laundry.
Okay.
It was
They'll die on.
no, I know. And like the argument that ensued was actually kind of insane. I had to leave the apartment because I was just like, oh my God, like I mean, everybody's got stuff going on. It's college. Like communication, I feel like we were like 20, 21 years old. And so communication was not like our strongest suit, but like laundry on her bed.
That's
And
kind
she
of
had
wild.
like those like fuzzy like duvet covers that
Yeah.
like it was kind of like World War III up in that apartment during that time. But
Understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was absolutely terrible. Did she need to do that? No. But was she trying to go out for a little bit of vengeance? 100%.
I kind of loved that energy though from my friend. I was like, whoa, that's standing 10 toes down and making a statement.
Sometimes you just need a crazy motherfucker in your life just to spice things up.
And I love that. I actually fully support what she did. Would I have had the balls to do what she did? Maybe not. But like kudos to her. But our top comment does say they should be watching their laundry. When I used to share space, I wasn't upset if someone moved mine if I left it too long.
I mean, I feel like that's just a natural consensus. I mean, there's really no like way that you see it in the other way. Like, oh, don't touch the other people's like clothing. It could be undergarments. Blah blah blah. Shared equipment. This is as private as fucking what? I mean, there's no privacy. This is shared. This isn't like supposed to be a private situation.
Yeah. I mean, if you're washing, like, everybody knows that you're washing like undergarments and stuff like that. And you would hope that rifling through all of your stuff. And I think that's where the fear comes in, where the note was like, they wanted to put the note because it's like, don't touch my things. You know, those are my things. That makes me uncomfortable because you don't know who's touching what. But yeah, we do have an update for this one.
Fair enough. I mean, I wouldn't know why you need an update, but okay.
The laundry wars do continue. They continue, and it's pretty good. So the update is management responded and said she was going to send out a reminder to everyone about laundry etiquette. I wasn't expecting them up so fast, LOL, but thanks everyone for your input. I think I'm just going to wash my clothes on a different day than the other person just to avoid any future drama with them. I actually found out they're my across the hall neighbor, so definitely don't want any problems there.
Well, that was something special there. A little update, but that usually happens. Like, especially if you complain to like management, they'll kind of do a little bit of like a PSA, especially on like rules and regulations. It's like the simplest thing that they could do.
Yeah. And I think it's just reminding everybody like, hey, this is
Don't leave your junk.
stuff. Yeah, don't leave your stuff around. Don't leave it unattended if you don't want people to touch it. So other comments say, once I completely forgot mine, I've got ADHD. And when I finally remembered, some angel held all of my clothing. A little weird, but I was going through a rough patch and it helped me. Yes.
Kind Samaritan.
Yeah. So I'm like, I think that it's really all about mindset. If that happens to you, like, I definitely understand being uncomfortable when people touch your things.
Yes, but like, give OP grace. Literally didn't put it on the dusty counter. Put it in the bin to make it a little easier. Cut down the thing that would have made your clothes still dirty, but they did a better thing.
I think going through people's clothes and then neatly folding it, that's a little creepier than just putting it
That is a little creepier, but sometimes that's just a little nice, you know?
It's nice, but in like a weird way.
Don't take it as weird. Just
Yeah,
take it
it's
as a
like,
win. Take it as a
Okay,
win.
take it as a win. Take it as a win and move on.
Yes.
You know, but I think that even in that note, what the person could have done is just be like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, you could just be like, oh, I'm really sorry, like, for being late on this. Like, I think that's really, if you're going to leave a note, best case scenario would be like, oh, sorry, please don't touch my things, but.
You're thinking people go into it being apologetic. Absolutely not.
That's the hope. People understand each other.
Absolutely not.
But yeah, that's all I got for that one. Ready to move on?
I'm surprised it was as long as it was.
Yeah, that one had a full update. I think people get really territorial over their things, though.
I've 100% without a doubt. People get super defensive about everything that they own.
Yeah, and like there's a point where I'm like, I think it's fair because it's stuff that you own, but
Stuff that you own but you forgot. Don't leave out the you forgot it part.
That's what I'm saying. Rules of the Rules of the environment.
Yes.
That's not an actual saying.
Yeah, no, but you know what? It fits in this occasion, so we'll let it slide.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, so this one is coming from r/am I the asshole? So, will I be the asshole for asking my daughter's boyfriend to stop having dinner with us?
Ooh.
My daughter, 21, has been dating this guy, 24, for 2 years. It's fairly serious. He is from Mexico and has been in the US since he was 3 years old. He has a strange phobia of not wanting anyone to see him eat. And it's real. I've literally never seen this kid put a bite of food in his mouth. Despite spending a fair amount of time around him, he is thin but doesn't look unhealthy. The problem is, we will take him occasionally for holidays or special occasions. He always orders a full meal. He will cut up the food, shit around the plate, but not eat any of it. Then, after the meal, he will donate his leftovers to someone else. It's even worse when I make home-cooked meals and they come to dinner. He does the same thing. Takes a full plate of food, pushes it around, cuts it up, makes it look messed with, but doesn't eat any of it. Then he will scrape all the food into the trash can afterwards. I'm starting to get enraged over this. He's wasted a horrendous amount of food, and I can't stand the money wasted when we buy him expensive restaurant meals that go completely uneaten. It's even caused a few scenes with waiters asking him what's wrong. Do they need to change his order? Etc. I've talked to my daughter privately and said, if he doesn't want to eat, that's fine. Just tell him to stop taking plates of food and ordering in restaurants. Her response was, quote, but in his culture, it's rude for him not take food. I'm not asking him to do that, unquote. But I find it so rude that he is willing to keep wasting our money. Food isn't cheap. Will I be the asshole for just now no longer invited to meals?
This one's a little tricky, I'm gonna be honest with you. There's lots here. Oof. I think for the most part, I don't think it's the rudest thing, but I think the way about her just going about it might be a little complicated. It needs a little bit more understanding from him. I feel like a little conversation from them wouldn't hurt, but definitely is something that's just, it's a little strange for the most part, because having trouble like eating with people, I don't know if it's like eating with people or like he said, maybe it's like it's a phobia about the situation. It's all just a little complicated, if I'm being honest with you. Like, if it's a true phobia, that'll never be something that he can work on it, but it won't be something that he'll be easy to let go of. I feel like a genuine conversation about just being like, hey, to make it easier for you, you don't have to do any of that. It's okay when it comes to it's just, especially just having the conversation about his culture and like, listen, maybe it's just one of those things where it's like he does it for his culture, but this is a different family, a different situation. Understand that you don't have to kind of like go super in that route, because we see it. We see the fact that you don't really eat it or anything like that. Don't worry about to force yourself to do something at the moment, especially if you're not going to eat it, because I understand from that point of view. But I understand especially if he's being super cultural about it, there's just like maybe you can get like a cheaper option or something. I feel like there's ways and things to navigate this. I feel like, honestly, I feel like everybody's just scared to with somebody, especially when it's like a difficult thing or you don't know somebody as well. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like taking a moment to just speak with somebody really will help out a lot of people. I feel like a lot of these stories is just like, fucking talk to somebody, man.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point that you raise. And one of the comments does say, as someone from Mexican descent, I'm pretty sure that his own family would have a huge problem with wasting food. It's not a small subject in Mexico where food poverty is real. OP actually responds to this. They say, I'm wondering if this is part of it. I know his general life story, but no details. I'm wondering if maybe there was a time that he got heavily disciplined for eating too much in times of scarcity, and it scarred him for life. Again, I have no idea, but it just makes me sad for him. It also seems contradictory in some ways, though, that he is now willing to waste food on a huge scale. If this is, in fact, what happened, I just don't know. And I think that goes hand in hand with what you were saying about, like, having a conversation. This is my best advice for OP. It's just like, I think having a conversation with him based off everything that he's learning off of Reddit and all the responses he's receiving, I think in this situation, it's not like, no, you're not allowed to come to dinner with us. It's, hey, let's talk about some things that I've noticed. Like, you're with my daughter, I want that to be awesome, but there are some things that I noticed that I'm curious about. I think that's a good way to open up the conversation, and I think it's cool because if this person's going to become a part of your family, it's like, you want to have open communication in like a perfect family, that's what I would want. It's just like people noticing and perceiving different things about me and helping me grow.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to grow, I think.
100%. I just, like we said, it's all about the conversation. I'm like, figure out what the issue is. I feel like, honestly, I don't assume he intends to do this on purpose. Like, it's just something that he has because, like you said, it's a phobia. But I don't think it's that big of an issue where it's like, oh, since it's a phobia, he's having issues with it the whole time. I mean, there's always things that you could do. I just feel like, honestly, with this story, just like, it really is just about communication. I don't, like I was saying, I don't think he intends to be wasteful. I think he honestly just does a thing with the food so, like, they feel like he feels like he's included, or situations or things that he does this just so, like, he fits in. I feel like it really is just about having a conversation. I don't think it's more than that. I feel like this is definitely one of those ones that could easily get remedied by that. But what's your take on it? You feel like it's like that, or do you think there's anything else he could do about it?
I think there's a couple things. So I'm like going back to the ages of the guy specifically. It's like he's 24 years old. Yeah. And I think that, obviously there's something deeper here that we just don't know why he's just like refusing to eat in public situations. Yeah. And like the daughter has made that very clear.
True. Why does he have a phobia?
Yeah. And I think that talking with a professional is obviously the next best thing to help him find some comfort in being able to be vulnerable like that. I think it's like an uncomfortable situation to talk to somebody you might not know about it, someone who's not a professional. And so I would never recommend like you don't have to go in and be like, hey, like give me your deepest, rooted issues. Yeah. Let's solve this. But I think there is a balance. And I think what I would do in this situation is have a conversation. I would not just be like, yeah, you're not allowed to come near us because we don't like the way that you are.
Because I feel like, honestly, they've gotten close enough to, like, if this is a regular thing that they have, like, dinners, and this has happened multiple times now, where it's like they go, it's like he's obviously included in the family. So I feel like, what's stopping OP from really just having a deeper conversation? Like, what's going on? I feel like they're close enough. Having family dinners with them, like, multiple times, whether it's restaurants or just at-home cooked dinners, it's clearly something that, like, OP is close enough to this guy to be able to communicate with them, or at least it seems like they have a good enough communication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we got some more comments. So someone says, no shot. He doesn't know how much this would piss off any host, not just people of his culture. If it were something similar, he'd be more aware about how he's wasting food and money. This isn't a cultural thing. He's lying most likely to feel less obvious by having a plate in front of him, not realizing that what he's doing is 10 times worse. Yes.
Listen, look, I feel like that's a very aggressive take. For the reason being, I'm like, we're really discrediting phobias here.
Yeah, I think that is a little bit what this person might be going through, because I don't think there's enough information to know if he's doing this just because he likes the attention, mm-hmm. or doing this because he has like a valid reason. Mm-hmm. I think that if that's just the way he is and it's consistent, it's just like it's a difficult position for OP to be in because it's like he's paying for these things, and he probably wants to.
Honestly, you keep saying that it's like a he. I think this is a mom. I think this is a mom taking issue with, like.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. Like, I don't think a father would have an issue with this kind of situation. I feel like a mom would definitely be like, because like they were talking about like the home cooked meals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they make them
Okay.
for him. So this is like a mom taking issue with her daughter's boyfriend.
So I see what you mean. I'm like looking back through this and I don't see any distinction on OP.
No, they didn't make it obvious or say anything like that.
Maybe if I dug in a little bit deeper, it would tell me. But I see what you mean. Actually, I think that's interesting. Like, I think that's actually an interesting take. Being like, is this good, like different coming from a mom versus like coming from a dad? Do you think that like if it was like a dad having this issue, this conversation would be said and done with, or if like, or because it's a mom, this conversation is not happening?
I feel like honestly with dads, I feel like they'd be a little bit more blunt and open. Like, what's going on, man? Like, why are you not eating? What's the issue? I feel like a mom would notice a situation, question why the reaction is the way that it is, and be a little bit more like thinking about or identifying how they would go about a situation. Where I think a father would be like immediately and abrupt, just like, what's going on? What's happening? Why are you not eating?
Yeah, we have some people who actually like some commenters who are upset by this. And I want to read that comment. So, not knowing him, I won't presume that he grew up poor. But specifically, I was never told to refuse food when offered by your host with the following explanation. Because you never, when they host, may be going without food in order to serve you. This is about hospitality and manners. Even if the food looks revolting, you're supposed to eat it graciously. In any event, it just seems odd, culturally, that he focuses on accepting the food and then not eating it, since the point is to not offend your gracious host. Truthfully, he does that at home, especially at relatives' home. He would be shamed at the table in front of everyone. It's freaking rude. Trust me, even picky eaters aren't suffered lightly. Mr. Moneybag should pay for his own food, cook it, serve it, and then throw it away. Gah, makes my blood boil. Show your daughter my replies, and good luck.
Everybody's super aggressive on it. I felt like I have a very passive take, and everybody's really just like, no, this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah, we do have an edit. I want to talk about this one because I think it's a little bit interesting of a take. So OP goes on to say, this post absolutely blew up, and I appreciate everyone weighing in on it. It's not a simple issue, and hearing varying opinions on this was very valuable to me. You all made me set my frustration. Whoa, frustration. Okay. that was rough. Okay.
You got this.
Yeah, I got this. You all made me set my frustration aside and realize there is a much deeper here. I agree he has an eating disorder, and I had a serious discussion with my daughter earlier about these behaviors. They are absolutely abnormal, and I let her know in no uncertain terms I am very concerned about his physical and mental health. She seemed a little shocked and said she just thought it was one of his quirks. No hate, please. She is just 21 and has very little life experience with these issues. I definitely got through to her, though, and she promised to address this with him privately and suggest therapy/professional help. You may all disagree with that choice, but I don't feel it is my place as the girlfriend's mom. Oh, it is, Mom.
Shocker.
To address this very personal and painful issue with him. She and I agreed that, for my part, it is okay for me to tell him that he doesn't have to feel pressured to eat with us, and it is perfectly acceptable for him to simply refuse food, but still sit at the table with us. We much prefer that of him wasting food. Going this route, the problem is being addressed while avoiding humiliation for him, still respecting him as a person, and my daughter as well. I'm still drawing the hell no line in the sand with the food wasting, but in a loving way. That isn't going to worsen any underlying trauma he's already facing. I want him to find the courage to face this and know that we are here to help and support him. Thank you,
good.
Reddit.
That's good. See, I feel like everybody was so up in arms about the situation and really going after this guy.
Yeah.
When I feel like the way mom handled it was pretty nice and sweet. I feel like honestly still have a conversation with him just to kind of just talk about it and just air it out. Because I think honestly the humiliation comes with the fact of just being stuck in an unknown position. I mean, seeing a therapist for it and everything like that, I mean, for sure, 100% get help and stuff. But I feel like as well being open to have a conversation with like quote unquote like the family. Like obviously not a part of the family truly, because he's a boyfriend at the moment, but still being a part of the family in essence of just like, hey, you never know what these people could be, but just being able to just communicate and have that open airway conversation, because this is something that OP kind of does take a little bit of frustration with, just because of the food wasting and stuff like that. She has no problem realistically with him not eating like the wasted food and how that whole situation's going. I feel like still it's good, have a conversation, open up that channel of communication. Maybe you guys can get to the root of the issue, and you never know. Maybe he'll be able to kind of break that if he feels comfortable. Because I feel like honestly, this might be coming from some, like, honestly, realistically, some unhealed trauma, maybe in his youth, maybe something that in his family where he just got scolded for how we were discussing, like maybe a little bit of an eating disorder, maybe body complications or stuff like that due to kind of like trauma as a kid or stuff like that. I feel like honestly sometimes that does happen to some people. It is genuinely not super unrealistic. I feel like genuinely is something that needs to be discussed a little bit more. Maybe open up a channel of communication, say something to him or talk it out.
No, I totally agree with you. I think it's concerning behavior, but it's not behavior that's like worth it to get mad, incredibly mad. Like how
people were pitchforks and torches on that comment section.
People are like so angry in the Reddit threads. I'm like looking through all this stuff and I'm just like, wow, guys, calm down, just a little bit, because it's like, it's concerning behavior, but we can also just, I think, as like, you know, bystanders realize that like, or like hopefully assume that this person isn't trying to be mean, you know? And I don't think this person is trying to be mean. I can understand being upset and being like, wow, that's kind of annoying, but it's concerning. It's something that needed a conversation and like an adult conversation and stuff. But I think the amount of judgmental.
Yeah, they went hard. They went hard in the goddamn paint with that guy.
They did go hard in the paint, because I think that this raises, like, it's a very poignant topic. Like, it's a hot topic for a lot of people because of where they come from. And so people think very passionately about this, about like,
people feel very strong about their food.
That's fair. I mean, we need food to stay alive. And so it's like a biological thing for us to, you know, really care about what's going on there. And so I get why people are like that, but I'm like, guys, he's still like, he's not killing babies. Yeah. He's just like not wanting food. And there's a way better way that he needs to go about it. But they're talking to him, and that's the most important thing. They're figuring it out, because it's like, okay, we're recognizing this behavior and we're not going to condone this behavior.
Sometimes comment sections are the funniest places to be, because they will just see a situation and then they'll just blow it up 100%.
Oh yeah, little pot stirs.
I love the pot stirs in the comments.
I love the little pot stirs.
They go crazy in the paint sometimes. But there are some where they just jump the gun and is like, nah, break up with him. He's useless. Trash. Move on.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised that, like, most people didn't say break up with him. Like, not a lot. People are just like, no, he's gone. Just get rid of him. Get rid of him. Throw him out. But I didn't see a lot of that. But we have no other updates other than that edit. I think it ended in, like, the way that I wanted it to.
Hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, we can only wish for the best.
At least that edit and stuff, it ended like
a little better. It ended up a little bit more calm.
And I think it was handled actually very maturely, which is super great.
Perfect.
Okay, so ready to move on?
Let's do it.
Okay, gotcha. So let's see. Okay, so that one was really fun. I mean, there's like, I would like to know in the comments what you guys think about these Reddit stories. Would you be as mad as everybody else in the comments were about somebody refusing food? Or what would you do? I'd like to know.
Hopefully you were a little bit more passionate, or a little bit at least reserved with the way that you voiced your concerns.
Yeah.
Don't just drop the boyfriend. Let's help the guy out.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Now, shall we?
We shall.
This next one is coming from r/am I the asshole? So, am I the asshole for refusing to follow my friend's parents' house rules and leaving? This one's a throwaway account because it's too specific of a story and our friend is on Reddit. My boyfriend, 23 male, and I have been together since high school, almost 6 years. We just moved in together after I graduated in May. We're not officially engaged but planning to get married once he finishes grad school. An old friend from high school invited us to his family's beach house for the holiday last weekend. When we got there Friday, we realized his mom and dad were spending the weekend too, which was fine. It's their house, and they seem to have their own plans for the weekend. They were happy to let us do our own thing during the days, and they had drinks in the hot tub with us Friday evening, and were actually really cool. But that night, when my boyfriend and I started getting ready for bed, our friend's mom pulled me aside and said that my boyfriend would need to sleep on the couch in the living room instead of with me in the guest room because we aren't married. I was surprised because I mentioned this, and my boyfriend and I live together and everything. I said okay, but felt really uncomfortable. I have trouble sleeping in new places, and sleeping next to my boyfriend helps. My boyfriend also was annoyed he had to sleep on an uncomfortable couch when there's a perfectly good bed. So we decided it would be best to get a hotel in town and meet up with our friend the next morning. When we told our friend, he kind of weird about it, but said okay. So we left and checked into our hotel. The next morning, we called to see what time our friend wanted to meet up. He seemed mad, and he couldn't hang out, and that his mom and dad flipped out at him for letting us go to a hotel and said we, quote, didn't appreciate their hospitality, unquote. So we ended up just doing our own thing for the weekend and not seeing our friend at all. Our friend texted us today, Monday, saying he was really angry that we couldn't have slept apart for 2 nights just to make his parents happy, and that we won't be invited to Friendsgiving this year. He hosts for our high school friend group every year. So, are we the assholes for leaving and getting our own place?
No. Just flat out no. I mean, come on now. What are we talking about? There's no reason for that. I understand in some places or people just religiously, it's just like having that separation between somebody who's not like like betrothed to one another or they're not already married. Very hot topic debate with a lot of people just having that kind of relationship, like living together and not being married. But realistically, these, especially like the boyfriend and girlfriend, they were coming over thinking that they were just gonna have it was just gonna be the friend and then them two.
Oh yeah.
And it was gonna be just very chill, but now expectations have shifted because
the parents are there,
and now they're enforcing rules, and it's like it's a weird rule because genuinely this is boyfriend and girlfriend who live together.
Yeah.
And you just are having the boyfriend sleep on a couch, which is for what? This is just a bad situation all around. And also, I don't appreciate, especially with the friend, just getting upset about the situation.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are you getting upset because the way that it transpired? Like, you're forcing rules onto people that like don't abide by the same rules. This isn't something where you can get upset about. You showed them something. They were like, yeah, for sure, the situation changed, and it's for them to decide if they wanted to tolerate the change of the situation or not. Yeah. This isn't something to get completely upset about. I feel like the friend is just completely over, like way shooting this over like the moon. There's no reason for him to get as upset as he did, disinviting them from like Friendsgiving because what?
That's crazy.
You got upset because they didn't accept your quote unquote hospitality. I'm like, you set up this thing believing that like they believe that they were just gonna have a nice weekend or getaway with just like basically thinking about their friend and just being completely just chill.
Because they found out when they found out that when the parents were going to be there when they got to this location, which I think is actually
plans
crazy.
Changed.
And it's
changed.
like, you're 22, 23. And when I was 22, 23, I mean like, and I'm expecting like a fun getaway weekend, having somebody's parents there as well, that kills the vibe. It's like, oh, come on. Like,
kills the vibe, and then you change the dynamic by saying you can't sleep together.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, that's crazy. Like, they're adults. And like, I don't know if that's their prerogative. Like, if they want to sleep together, you kind of have to like let people know ahead of time too, because like I assume that the friend hopefully talked to their parents before they even like were going to
You'd hope.
go to the house and be like, hey, these people are together. They're a couple. They're gonna come stay for the weekend. Hope that's okay, mom and dad. Like, cool. And then they talked about this. So spending the entire first day and then nobody says anything about the sleeping arrangements, that's crazy to me. Because it's just like, you need to tell people if you're uncomfortable with them sleeping together because they're not married, like you want them to sleep in separate rooms. I don't know. I feel like I get that when people are teenagers, but you can't control adults that way.
You can't control a grown.
It's not your kids.
You can't control a grown
That
adult
does make
now
me
like
upset.
that. Yeah.
Like, I know that might ruffle some feathers, but like, I just don't think that you have no right to tell them what to do. You're not their parents. They are your guests.
I want to say 100% because they didn't expect the parents. I'm definitely with more OP side in this and just being 100% like, listen, we didn't expect it to be this way. We never agreed to the situation being in this way. If they would have known beforehand and then they would have agreed, like they knew the parents were going to be there and they knew how the parents are, and then they got upset about it, okay, I see where like the parent side of things where we told you about this, but OP never knew the parents were even going to be there. The fact that the plans changed on the fly was not at all in the cards for the whole situation. And the fact that OP has trouble sleeping without their boyfriend there the whole time, that's just an extra little layer of just like situation.
That's
of just
uncomfortable.
Like, this is an uncomfortability. This is just a genuine, like the boyfriend didn't want to sleep on the couch and the girlfriend didn't want to sleep alone.
Yeah.
So why do you take issue for them trying to solve a problem? They were still trying to be friendly and hang out. But the fact is that like you put them in an uncomfortable position because of the way that you either didn't communicate with them or just didn't like let them have their own free will.
Yeah. I mean, we do have like this one comment that I actually it's interesting. The plot thickens. You ready?
Yeah.
So I assume you thanked them for hosting you before you left and didn't just tell your friend. That would have been the polite thing to do. If not, then yeah, you were wrong. Somebody replies to this, unless it was too late and they figured out they would be back the next day and could thank the parents then. OP said the mom didn't tell them arrangement rule until bedtime. If the parents went to bed before OP and boyfriend booked the hotel and left, it would be insane to wake them up as opposed to waiting until the next day. OP comments on this. OP says, that's exactly what happened. She pulled me aside to tell me the arrangements at like 9:30 and then went to bed right away. It caught me off guard because she saw my boyfriend and I put our bags into the guest room when we got there at like 4, but waited until we were getting ready for bed to tell us we both can't sleep in there. By the time we made the decision to get our own place and found an acceptable hotel with open rooms on a holiday weekend, it was almost 11. So we told our friend and figured we'd see the parents and explain the next day. I think the parents flipping out and being upset is really immature.
Yeah.
Let people do what they want to do. You know, it's just like,
No, because my thing is people have free will.
yeah,
Like,
exactly. They're not your kids. They're not babies. If they were like, 18-year-olds, first of all, you can't really get a hotel when you're 18, anyways. Then you have a responsibility to like even their parents to kind of like, manage the household and stuff like that. 22, 23, you have no claim to anything they do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If realistically, if it's late at night, let's say situation happens, it's like 11 p.m. at night, and similar situation happens, basically told us in a situation where we just felt uncomfortable, be more than free to go grab a hotel. This is your money that you're spending on it. This is your decision that you're making, and then you're not doing anything wrong to anybody. Like, what? Are we supposed to just accept the hospitality and just go by the rules just because, like, we have to? You don't have to. You can go down the street, go to a hotel. That's literally the definition of just doing what is best for you.
Yeah.
And then getting upset over the fact that they did this. Why? You're upset because you couldn't perceive yourself as a nice person for letting somebody stay at your house? What are you upset about? I'm confused at what you're upset about.
Top commenter says they are allowed to have rules in their home and you're free to stay elsewhere.
Yeah.
Which I understand, but kind of shifty of the parents, in my opinion. I'm like, I think they're the assholes at the end of the day because they did not set the expectations clearly, and waited until 9:30 at night to tell them this is not okay for you guys to be sleeping in the same bed. We don't want you guys to touch. Because that's just bad. You know, you're not married.
To be honest with you, there's everybody in this story was just a little off, but I don't really put anything too much onto
be so for real.
like being aggressors in situation. I think just the way people reacted was a little off.
Yeah.
I feel like OP and her boyfriend were definitely just like, okay, live your life, be free will, and just like genuinely, there's no issue with that. The friend was definitely off in the sense of just like, what are you upset about? Are you upset because your parents got upset?
Yeah, probably.
Or are you upset because like your friends just ditched you for a little bit? They still communicated. They still were open with you, and they still told you, "Hey, we just got a hotel room because it just wasn't felt.
It wasn't the
better for
vibe.
us." Yeah,
it wasn't the vibe. You guys weren't the vibe. It's like literally nothing against the friend. I mean, a little bit against the friend. It's just like,
yeah. I feel like you would know if like their parents were gonna be over there versus telling them versus not telling them.
Imagine this: they get to the home at 4 p.m. Immediately upon arrival, they're like, "Hey, we just have this like rule. We know we don't like it when unmarried couples are sleeping together, and so we have 2 bedrooms or 2 places set up for you guys. Like, we hope that that's okay."
Yeah.
Sorry, like I don't know,
but just
switching
switching stuff on a dime like that. Just you can't do that to
and
some
then
people.
running away to bed immediately, like that's cringy. That's cringy of the parents. I'm like, okay, that's really annoying, and I think that it's really actually kind of cool and very adult that that OP and her boyfriend actually were like, you know what, we're gonna go get a hotel. Is it a little bit petty?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm like, maybe that was like a little bit dramatic. It's just the adult thing to do. It's like, hey, we didn't like this, so we got in a hotel, and
they did nothing wrong. They did everything in their power. They literally they didn't make a mess. They didn't do anything. They just got up, booked a hotel, and stayed over there. They even reached out to the friend like, hey, we're still ready to hang out whenever you are, and then just completely just got upset over not taking their hospitality. That's the part that just keeps confusing me. What are you upset about? Like, what is the part that you're upset about?
I think it's maybe just the fact that they left.
And what?
Yeah, I think it's just like the fact that they left the house and weren't staying because they probably had, like, the parents probably had an expectation that they were going to have guests, and the guests evicted themselves. And I think that makes people pretty upset. You know, you're expecting one thing and then they end up leaving.
The whole thing wasn't that they were going to stay at this house the whole time. Were they not going to go out and do things?
I mean, they didn't even know the parents were going to be there.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I think, honestly, this story is just very cut and dry, simple. Just like, there's literally no issue to take. This is just a common situation that the friend and his parents or their parents overblew. This is a non-issue.
I absolutely hated reading this. I hated that she just approached the girlfriend. Mm-hmm. She didn't approach both of them. It wasn't one of those things. She like singled out the girlfriend, had a private conversation with her instead of talking to both of them and saying like, "Hey, I'm not okay with this." What is that? That to me reads a little bit sexist.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, this is a whole non-issue. The way that everything goes about, like the parents, the friend, like we're getting mad over nothing.
Yeah, and I'm turning such a good day because it seemed like they were having a good normal day before then, but now it's like in the back of their mind they're just like, we got to make sure these kids aren't sleeping together under our roof. Like, that's a crazy switch up to be so kind and upfront, but then at night change it up. I mean, we don't know what was happening with the argument and why the friend got so mad. I'm sure that was just kind of crazy for them. But to further make the problem worse and uninvite them from an event that they bring everybody to, that's crazy.
That is a bit much.
That's really childish, in my opinion.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I do not think that OP is the asshole.
No, definitely not.
Nope. Parents are the asshole.
Definitely. I mean, parents, and then I don't know how much the friend goes into it. I don't know how much they knew if like the parents were going to be there or not. I feel like that's something you know. Like, that's something that you definitely know if like someone's going to be there or not.
Yeah. I mean, like, people have their policies, and that is completely fair and valid, but make those policies aware to everybody. Make sure that they're okay with that situation as well. That's hospitality.
That is hospitality.
Hospitality isn't just going along with whatever
anybody just says.
Whatever anybody says just because you're in their home. It's like come on. The timing wise is weird.
Like I said, even timing wise, I'm like, what? Like this quote unquote hospitality. Is this a forced hospitality? You don't have to.
It seems because the parents are there. Like, they didn't know the parents were going to be there. That seems like a really forced, awkward situation that they're just kind of rolling with, you know? But yeah, that was that story. We don't have any updates.
What a weird, funky story.
Right? I don't know. The OP does comment on a couple of things about, like, why he doesn't name his friend. People are, like, wondering, why are you not dropping their names? Why are you not saying that? And, like, OP's like, because if he finds this story and knows it's me, he can't read through the rest of my unhinged Reddit history on my main account. So...
Fair enough. Better to stay off unknown. Literally.
But yeah, that is really all I got for today. I don't have a scary story.
Unfortunately. Probably next time.
That's for next time because we're working on some other things.
Ooh.
We're working on some bonus content
Ooh.
for you beautiful degenerates.
You're really going on. This is a thing you're doing here.
It's my phrase for today.
Last time
was gremlins.
It's a thing. You're doing.
Degenerates, because if you're loving these Reddit stories, you're a degenerate and I love you for it. I am one of you, you know? We are one in this degenerate community. And
What a niche you've really set yourself up with.
I'm trying out some things, but I am really excited. We have some bonus content coming out for you guys. Be on the lookout for that. Make sure that you hit the notification button on wherever you listen to this podcast so that you can be notified weekly of every single episode that comes out when they come out. So you can be the first person to listen. We would really appreciate it here. We love making you guys content. We love doing this. We want to keep doing this. So we need your support.
Always.
Yeah.
We always thank all of you for watching the videos, listening to them, and then just taking a moment out of your day to just listen to our banter.
Yeah, we love you guys. We hope that this is getting you through your commute, through your chores, through anything you got to do. We'll see you guys next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.